Okay, we are live and Fambulem again. We don't come back for the second time because this issue is very important. This person will get is very very important. So we don't finally like we been tell una say we know say that things will be beyond in control. Now make it not be calm at that time. So, but we don't get them. So, una stay tuned, una stay connected. We can talk on issues, them national issues, issues about legal issues. Waiting this office they do, but Ingo can introduce himself later, but una stay tuned, una stay connected. This na the then and now media empire. This na Cycle John. Una stay connected. Okay, Fambulem again. This na Cycle John Barry. You know, say we've been tell una, and then we even run one program shortly. Tell una say, well, we guess not be able to come for the program. But guess what? We get an. Please introduce yourself.
Mina Fatmata Claire Carlton Hansels, the Executive Director of Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board and the Founding Director.
Okay, thank you so much. And Fambulem, not to dream on the dream. Oh. Exactly, we don't get them at the studio na yeah, we don't get them live, so they can't talk about the work of the legal aid board. And then one for a bit for make you tell me more about yourself.
Well, Mina Fatmata Claire Carlton Hansels, na Tongo are born, Diamond area, outside all the tribes and Komot, so we all interrelated. So, Mina human rights lawyer, my husband a lawyer, we two pikine, boy and girl are also lawyers. So we are a family of 4 lawyers at home. So you can imagine, say, all 10 we dey veer off into legal issues. We guess that at times can get lost. Pastor Sibutuya, una not begin talk about this act or that one, they una left and force as the
Mhm.
Combran at the house. But more importantly, I work at the special court for Sierra Leone. I started in 2002 up to 2011. I rise to the position of principal defender. No Sierra Leonean not ever hold that position. Then I'm even there in charge of Charles Taylor, all the prisoners in Rwanda. I spent most of my time in The Hague, in Freetown, and I also make sure say I go left Taylor na London. Now go
Okay.
na Frankland jail a number of times before I finally decide say make I come back home with the experience. And then been don't approach me, the then Chief Justice, our Umutijan Jalo, they don't go seek me, say, Tuya, because of the wealth of experience, don't to go international, the salary is not there, but you for able for help your country. And each time I drove in my vehicle, my international vehicle, across Pademba Road during the special court, I always said to myself, the day I get the opportunity, I'm going to turn this jail around. Because imagine they detain somebody as then they go up and down the days, the months, and they can you see the human being depreciate. You see in condition, some people lose their lives whilst in the jail. And now we don't change to correctional center, house of correction. So punitive measures not for Didi. So I was very, and I count myself lucky that I got the opportunity to get the position. It's an advertised position. I am equivalent to a judge of the High Court. That
Okay.
is my rank. I've done 24 years at the bar, going 25. If I'm
Mhm.
going at the bench, I should be in the Supreme Court. But I chose for raise an army of human rights Sierra Leonean lawyers who are not there for the money and who are doing God's work. Because we are in all the jails, we are in all the districts, we are in all the regions, and I'm happy for say we are at chiefdom level.
Okay,
And
good.
if you imagine what that means at
Mhm.
chiefdom level, we crisscross the country with the Black
Eh,
Mariah. It's a
Before
beautiful work.
before you go further, I mean really, what you when we do that short program, like for just talk to people them, we've been talk about the waiting they happen at the local court. But again, we get for can talk on those issues them. But we really happy for get you. Now yeah. So yeah, continue. Yeah, we'll not say we dey get a bit of the internet na salon again, but it go still join me where the internet is
able for
restored. Okay, yeah.
I'm very happy for share the humble work what they do because it
Mhm.
is God's work. Before the legal aid board came, we did out for women who are battered in communities, we dey inside local courts, we dey help for do ADR, we do focus group discussions, we do town hall meetings, we educate people, we reunite prisoners and their families, we reunite children, and we dey in charge of the postal homes, DEMS, as well as approved school. So we're doing so much.
Okay. Okay, so we don't see like how you don't outline so, but we go like for take issues them one after the other. Uh, how many staff them you get, because the country is so vast, and then again issues them so much that we go really want to know how many staff them the legal aid board get, because most times we hear.
I not get the complement of staff we I need.
Mhm.
I not get them at all. I get 24 lawyers. Then
Okay.
they na small number compared to state council there.
Mhm.
So my lawyers then get more work than their counterparts them. And
Oh.
in addition to that,
Mhm.
within our local courts, there are 190 chiefdoms. We suppose to get paralegals and each of them custody. But for now, I get about 59 paralegals. I have 24 lawyers, and I have outreach officers, I have community workers. In total, my staff number on about 160. Then you put volunteers together, community people, justice providers, then one way they talk case na community. But then the government office where they serving a legal aid board, then part and way and then they keep the peace. So this is why we have what we also call community advisory bureaus, like citizens advisory bureaus. You can normally you go meet them, you go Shekwema, you go meet them, you go inside corner areas, there you dey meet them, you go as far as Cambia, in which we train community leaders, we train chiefs, we train our partners, because the Legal Aid Board has over 300 partnerships. Now we work with civil society, we work with different organizations. We are the lawyers for the Silent Labor Congress, because
Okay.
all the middle level professions are people who you find in the jails. The largest
Yes.
list of offenders are larceny, and that
Okay.
is between the ages of 25 to 35 years of age, the average Sierra Leonean, the largest. I will share our data with you so that you can see the difference.
Yeah, okay. Famulem again. I just want to remind you now, while the internet they come on and off from Sierra Leone, una they watch the then and now media empire. And I just want to remind you now again, say tomorrow we get lawyer Adi Macaulay for can talk on issues them again, on politics and other issues them. But we get the director of the legal aid board Sierra Leone and they talk to we about issues them, how did they operate, how many lawyers they get,
Yes,
and
we don't come back.
mhm.
Sorry about the break.
It's okay.
So, yes, so we dey administer through form. So as I speak, we dey be for give legal aid to over 1 million Sierra Leoneans, a record number for the United Nations of a country of about 6 or more million people. As a result of which, the UNODC, who they do a lot of work with, we also do a lot of writing with the UN bodies. Invite we this year in June. We go New York, we will present at the General Assembly. They had a whole side meeting in which the US, Latin American countries in conflicts, they make we present to them. It's a very small and powerful institution. As long as you do your job, you fight for justice. We no get boko money. Government no dey give we boko money. We need vehicles. I no get now one vehicle me get. I need vehicle for the regions. I need motorbikes. I need so many things. I need security. I need security personnel. I need so many things. Because we're an army of human rights lawyers, our name is like wildfire in the Hamatan in Sierra Leone, amongst households, amongst women, amongst children. Even then, school picking, when you talk, you say, I they go legal aid. So much so that we turn away people who can afford to go to lawyers. We get a partnership with over 40 lawyers from the Bar Association. So cases then where we're not able for take, we they send them to them. Then they
Oh,
assist we for a minimal fee. So we have a lot of partnership. We work with civil society. We do legal education with them. We train them on so many things. We let them also go out and do a lot of mediation work. Because one beautiful thing where they ask the board now for cut down the cases now law court, especially the civil. So waiting the legal aid act say is alternative dispute resolution. All our offices, you have the big round African table around which lawyers and mediators sit and hear both parties. A lot of Sierra Leoneans don't want to go to court, especially for civil matters. And wait till we find out before legal aid board can they be the chap people, then a land, then be they kill all that they don't done. Because not everybody goes there. And land issues are so simple, but if you decide for go law court, you go take donkey years. You come to the legal aid board, in 1 week, your problem is solved. Because what we do is we look at the plans and work with surveys and lands. The one we get title will tell you say that you get title. You will not get title, tell you say go recover your money. You need to recover your money, we help for report to the police and make sure say they charge the person. So that they don't greatly minimize violence inside you. The other big area now where one people die, they left maybe two, three picking and they're not serious. They get 25 apartments per body. That are the basic problem for Freetown, Freetonians. You find out say a lot of people who parents who pass away, then they left them picking and they fit for the property. Maybe one person just sit on there was a family feud, in decide say, well, I go benefits and not talk to me and they talk to them. Or you have one greedy relative who wants so all these are issues we pick out. And at the table, we are able to bring them, and it's a win-win situation. So we don't cut down drastically on cases going to the civil courts, especially for children as well. Right now, we have a model which UN Women is looking at. We open Okel Commercial Bank is in our offices because we have hundreds of men paying maintenance for children and pay maintenance to estranged wives. That's another saga because until the day now the girlfriend and he can pay fetch the command and pass will interpay again. Some of them on a van there.
I've been they read one of I think you una work una don't they do. I read one case where one woman they say I think in Monday Australia something like that.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yes. That
So
day now one of the classic cases. This woman he and this man meet. This woman in Holland book, sabi nothing. When he and this man meet, they no get nothing. And this woman and papa die in a Kenema. Now the woman go there, go sell him papa in house, he come, he buy land, that deep water. Now in they told stone, she has pictures, now they do all thing, they cook for them, say they build done. When they don't build done, the man not happy there when I say that thing they not be don't make title deed it. Now I say in one go Australia. The woman go all out taking business money, he make the man go Australia. When the man don't go Australia done, he don't did it now. He go get girlfriend. He get the audacity. He sending girlfriend at the wife in host. The wife they cook. They do all thing for him. The girlfriend bring one container. The wife sell and the wife take him market in money. He kill the girlfriend. The girlfriend go. When you don't get any people then call your attention. Say that woman we can launch to you. Say na man in woman and then na host na Australia. So that is how it started. The man now came later. He go make lovey-dovey to the wife. He thief the title deeds. He go register under his name. He went back to Australia. They get the audacity. He it take the woman out. It's saying don't go divorce the woman. And that is, we're working with the Council of Imams. I am humbled to say I am the only female member in the amongst the Council of Imams. We they
Oh,
sit on a matter and I would talk in case. So what some of these and the reason why I am in the Council of Imams with Dr. Habib Sharif and others, now because
mhm,
some Muslim marriages, they are divorcing the women behind their backs
mhm,
and they are taking properties away from them. So I they go sit on a matter at time he hit. I was a Muslim before I got married to a Creole man. Then I did not church. We prepare a Muslim. I send and go hajj till we they keep fast. So for me, the both religions I embrace. So this Umaya then go divorce and be him back. Then the man get the audacity, go magistrate court for let them evict her as quarter.
mhm,
Imagine she built the house. The man
mhm.
can was putting money all over the place, threatening the woman who said no. So we took up the matter. The woman is in the house. She's in the house. And that is
Okay,
just one of such
okay.
cases. As I say, we have hundreds of them nationwide. We'll get to other one like put lock up. This 25-year ago married to 75-year-old man. He work
Mm,
for the party. He don't 10 years. This panel will get belly. He beg the past say, make her go back. The past say, well, now return me bride. The bride price was 500,000. Her whole village put together will not come up with that money. This kind of case, local courts not able to get jurisdiction because in local courts, women cannot go and divorce men.
mhm.
So what happened in legal aid board was we had to come in, we do serious mediation, and we allow the woman to go back and be able to meet with her boyfriend and have children. Her husband will go marry later and get children. So you have lots of these kinds of things where we are both. It's a beautiful act. Now
But
South
that is,
Africa they pull up.
for example, if let's say, for example, again, we there in a well society where religious, either Muslims or Christians, and then go tell you say, okay, but how you go now go facilitate for let somebody divorce with him man, even though you know he will gambele, but then for let you go settle with him boyfriend, and go say, oh, this a haram. Some people then will tell you that.
Of
What it
course, of
that?
course. And the village people gave her up that don't come here. We
Mhm,
don't have that 500,000. One na popo farmer then I had that money they will be don't eat them. And she had, but wait till we time for the we call the pa, we put her down. Because there is another West Africa case who versus Kuko.
mhm,
These are Crow people, Waka, West Africa Court of Appeal in the 60s. These are
mhm,
Crow people. This woman married to this man for 11 years. For 22 years, he get 11 children. So after that, the woman say, he want go back to him people there. The man hold him as debt, say pass
mhm.
them pay and done before he go. After 11 children, 22 years. So the matter came from Sierra High Court and went to West Africa Court of Appeal. And in the West Africa Court of Appeal, they said a woman cannot be held as debt in you. If she wants to go back, she should be allowed to go, especially after 11 children and 22 years, she has exonerated her bride price.
Okay. So again, we see, for example, like again, the well in the common law, we see
Yes.
we R&R. I know say, of course, I not get out say you familiar. Another court, another case, they cow the ruling say a man go rape in wife. Because somebody now we see where na mafanta where they release
Mhm.
somebody where they say he be rape in wife. So family dem go really like for no, how come somebody they rape in wife? How that
Well,
possible? You what?
well, well, husband and wife, traditionally, yeah, like in Mende language, and he say, now go be so far. I
Mm-hmm,
want you for purposes of sex.
mm-hmm,
But we are educating the communities to move away from that kind of slogan.
mm-hmm,
Husband and wife, when I can date together, even boyfriend, girlfriend, any man and woman. If the woman does not want the unwanted advances, even if na wife, there is no law that you must tie her, that she should do it, that she
mm-hmm.
has no option, that she has no rights. And I'm happy where the courts then come out crystal clear in that particular case.
R&R,
For
yeah.
talk say, yes, for talk say, you husband, because the man has physical strength.
Mm-hmm.
At that particular time, you don't know if the woman get medical issues, if the woman not happy with the man, if the woman want for withhold sex for a reason. Although most of the cases say, oh, they talk na yanda at the end. Because when they don't can they don't fix stay na legal aid board. Who say power see don't force. Well, when I tell her, one imam we kai say we see net car, it way awareness.
Mm-hmm.
If not that awareness, they don't know for well. So
Mm-hmm.
you have this kind of interaction. But I'll advise all men that you have to be able to restrain yourself. Because rape is not committed by women, rape not by
Mm-hmm.
men. The
Mm-hmm.
slightest penetration constitutes rape.
Yeah.
So you, the man, you for know how for coax you woman. Not
Mm-hmm.
say because you don't marry her, because of that na slave.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can treat them in a way where
Okay, okay, Fambulem. Again, una the watch and listen to the then and now media empire. Today we get the director of legal aid. He dey explain to we about the job, issues them we then get for deal with. But we dey get some issues them with the internet. You know, no more now internet they go on and off. But we'll see it will come back definitely. It will come back, so we go continue again with the program. So, but at least we're happy we don't get them finally because earlier on we been the struggle, and then not been there, and we get other emergency issues them we for handle. So, but definitely he come, he contact me, say, well, sorry about that, and then we bring them. So, no more now salon the internet. We not to the first guess this will get from salon we we dey get internet problem. So, and he dey explain about wetin I been don talk earlier on about the legal aid board, wetin dem can do, dem can work with the judiciary, especially dem get wetin dem call that the judicial week, wey dem dey go right across the country for dispense justice. And the legal aid board people na dem can represent poor people na courts and then talk for them, and then can end up for release so many of them. And you don't talk say, well, from where them begin work, the legal aid board don't help almost a million Sierra Leoneans forget justice na salon. And you be dey try for tell you about again issues them we really strange now with communities, because for you say somebody say im wife, okay, im wife allege say e don rape am, somebody go rape im wife. So that thing in the unheard of now with communities, but it dey happen. Laws dem dey we don establish, we don say no, you know what, if you force your woman, uh, you go don rape am. So na then, so yeah, we know say the internet dey among, so but you can,
the internet
okay.
no dey manage no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay, let we wait sef. We I see now, for example, the effort where you can make, where una get case. For example, like that case now, Australia, that man with him wife. I see the effort where you make for call at the time, for call the the inspector general of police for explain to them about that today, and then for making them help. And you even go further, you call the judge wey dey deal with that matter there. So like something kind of my mind say, okay, if e be say really na the right thing, and you know say dem na the right thing una dey for, why you get for go that extra mile for call them in order for make them, well, for make them do the right thing. Okay, yeah, family we still they get issues. Okay, we get somebody while we brought away the watch we say live from Falabar district. That's good. So we get people away the watch we from Falabar, we get people away the watch we right across the world. So we go really happy again if people encounter the comment and tell we who side in the watch we from. We will appreciate that. But we know say people in the watchway right across the world. That side they will not get out, but we go one for no who side like people in the watchway from. So again, like the internet na salon. This now we can talk. I mean, from well, Pakaba in time, we get almost the same issues about internet. We get them. So somebody they watch we from Holland, somebody they watch we from Holland, Falaba district. So we really appreciate you now. And then would they this platform would they bring people and would they make effort for bring key people in the country for can explain to us about national issues. So yeah, we can understand, we know what in they happen with the internet. So yeah, so I mean you now you I see what way you make during that case they for make because we understand say way they may already for issue and order say lay down and vacating at the house. But we already say the man be one can make a counter application. You get for call the IG, you get for call the judge. So what you have they try for say why you been get for call the judge and the inspector general of police? Why the law not for done natural?
First of all,
Mhm,
when the judge give the order,
mhm,
I find out say from the bailiff office they don't go work a day.
mhm,
So let they not execute. The man they send money. In fact, the man in lawyer all time for put the woman at court say the woman fit here. So we first
mhm,
down they force to put her down.
mhm.
The man they say he send over $20,000 bar. When
Wow.
I be they go and put from the bailiff's office.
Mhm,
Then the police them, the woman don't go through all the criteria for let them go execute. The police then every day they get story. A,
mhm,
President Bioge for go Eastern tomorrow, so we know we will execute. They get this activity and that. So on. As I say, even the police and they interfere with them.
mhm,
So I was so angry. I
mhm,
called the judge and said, this order where you don't give for this woman, it does not appear as if it is going to be carried out. And I
mhm,
understand this lawyer is also trying to file some nonsense applications. We are
mhm,
on notice. Say anything we file, will they come for kick them out. And we hope say as judge, when you don't uphold our mandate in rights, you no go deviate, because that is one of the classic ways as a country we for fight for the poor people. The woman not pay one red penny. I had to call the IG several times for saying policeman they don't interfere with it. Because the
mhm,
woman comes and says, that man they say not possible. Oh. They not get imagine this man went to a magistrate court and evicted a lawful owner. So
mhm,
imagine I the worker.
mhm,
So you go the magistrate you is you don't want place in a we shake safe already for. So the IG na get for intervene for say today. Una put because they waiting the man do take thugs and then go flop the house.
mhm,
So nobody will come there. When they went to reinstate the woman, the whole neighborhood came out. Then they clap. They say for the first time, the sister judiciary also again right. They able for get in property back. In fact, some they and imagine those who explain to me this very police they will go there and the bailiff. Bailiff say, yeah, mommy, I call you. I not plan see this kind of execution. Hold. Mommy, okay, that woman they go na house. The whole neighbor then come on door. They can't clap. They tell say this is the first thing. They say this woman, it a broke stone, it a total and head. That man they not been they do nothing. Then I say na him get yours. And we know say na the man na this woman na in papa him money because na to some of we can buy. So you can, and I have a good relationship with the judges. We
Okay,
don't
so
disrespect
that
them
was
and we
again
won't kill
you
them.
yeah, because like you talking to me like an experienced lawyer because more or less they preempt waiting that they can ask you, but now at the block you they I've been really one for ask now, waiting at the relationship because I don't see the judiciary themselves they go and talk a lot about the effort of the chief justice, about the judges.
Yes.
And now we know say the waiting pivotal here, the legal aid board because una they go una they advocate for the poor people them. So I mean, one for really ask, okay, are you guys on the same platform in ensuring that Sierra Leoneans get justice? Or and then waiting at the challenges
It's
one at the
really
along the line.
work with them. We have to do better system. At times, most of the time, sometimes they, okay, you don't find them, people are so guilty. Let's talk. How long are you going to send them in for? Some of the judges, of course, my lawyers, they are doing that all the time, trying to do plea bargaining, time. So so the judge knows they need us because we carry the criminal calendar. Without we, the criminal courts, they know they operate. If legal aid lawyer know they want not in our courts, then go phone me, tell director, I not see this lawyer unable sit court. Because when you're doing those intricate matters, you know go get prosecution no more. You need defense. You see,
Mm.
especially robbery aggravation, then kind serious offenses then dey. So we and the judges then are push and dog. So they come up out of we sentence, we blind them to long periods. When at that can make at times, when prison courts the can now, we ask the CJ say, but the other judge ask me, wow, like one judge will go give 8 year, 8 year, eh? I say, "Pa CJ, that's so. Well, take the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you government they pay every day. This man, for that kind of offense there. Now when I don't go get 80, I said, no, that should not happen. Madam Director, we'll look into it later. So you have to have that kind of relationship with them because you are advocating for people. You are serving as lawyers for people. So we do a lot of in-house training of our lawyers. We ask them, it is, you have to be a bit savvy and at the same time stand on your rights. Usa will not say rights, they will not deflect so. But Usa will not say you don't talk to clients. And say you don't say and then a customer. You just dey go in car. The judge says no go and look here. Oh, they appear from, but you get for appear. You see? So people go to jail now, they know they have
Okay.
a fair bit in court.
Okay. Thank you so much, Director. Again, I just want to remind people them said in the watch the then and now media empire. And today we get the director of the Legal Aid Board, Sierra Leone. He don't come, he don't talk a lot, we don't discuss about issues, about the work, and the contributions, the role where they play again to make for improve the justice system, for give una the people them, the ordinary man and woman justice, for let una get justice, the man not get money. Madam Director, we see again una the work in line for achieve the sustainable development goal, I think goal 16, right?
Yes. Now
I
we are the
see.
institution for access to
Yeah,
justice.
yeah. So I see where one of the statement where they say, well, they no for left anybody behind, forget justice, notice it. But
Yeah,
in
legal
relation
don't
to
be a-
that, yeah, when they work in line with that in your mind, say nobody not for be left behind, all man forget justice. But they bring some instances in Sierra Leone, for example, where critics dem go fit say okay no dem people are not get justice. They give you a case where I know about na Falaba district where one woman somebody go fire am, he die. Up to date they no get anything, they no arrest anybody regarding that, nothing no happen, we no know wetin happen. Okay. Then again, we dey get issues them. Okay, we know wetin happen, the riot na Makeni, we know people then die there, wey standing up against the police and other thing there. We no know whether them families then don't get justice. We see wetin bin don happen na Tombo and other side there. And recently, August, we see where police then die back. So then whether na family of police, whether na family of civilians, these people need justice. What you wanna do in these cases for ensure that the family of these victims get justice?
Well, one, we up to now we dey represent all those who have been caught up in all these upheavals. Even
Mm,
to the last one, the way they say corner must go. Falaba, we represent the accused people them across the country, McKinney, we do legal representation. Because some of the problems is either party, SAPP, APC, they purport to have lawyers. But then these
mm,
lawyers, when once the thing happens, they don't get because they're there for the show. If you see the trial don dey drag, they drop it like hot coals and go away because there's no money in it. And so we do not have a choice. We pick up the tab. So we get different sets of people that we already with a give legal representation. The problem with those that is not in our own mandate. There should be a prosecution. The DPP's office is in the office of the Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
The DPP's is in the office of the Attorney General for good day. Justice they want. And then if the justice system picks up, then we can come in. So it's a very intricate, it just sounds like we legally board cannot be under the judiciary, it cannot be under this Ministry of Justice. Now, a standalone
Mm-hmm.
act of parliament institution. Because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot
Yeah.
have lawyers working directly with the prosecution or working under the police. They have to be
Mm.
independent and autonomous. So we are working with the DPPs and
Okay. Fambulem, we still, of course, as usual, we dey get internet problem from Sierra Leone, and then the director they come on and off, on and off. We been dey explain very important thing. I be raise issues them we related to, well, incidents that we don't happen because the legal aid board then they try for carry out some, well, the a sustainable development goal we in a goal 16 we say citizens them of the world forget justice, and Sierra Leone now the legal aid board they make sure that Sierra Leone achieve that goal there. But we don't see, we dey see, well, injustice they happen. So now that I been ask and say, okay, how then they try whether they may really don't make any moves for represent the families of victims. Uh, yes, the family of the victims, and for make the family then get justice. Aside some cases, them, and then that be the try for tell we say yes, then still like some cases then in a court we na the legal aid board people and they represent them. So but in internet go off, it dey on and off, on and off. But we just want for remind una say again tomorrow we get lawyer Ade Macaulay, he get for Canada the program now this platform for talk on national issues them. We politics and other issues, or tomorrow we get forget them. So now we'll stay tuned, stay connected for that program. And then we dey wait for the director again, maybe hopefully it will come online back. The internet will be restored, and then we'll continue the program. But we'll not get much time again. Yeah, but we go really look for bring them back now this platform after today. We can talk on more issues, but we get few questions. Number one, we just want for lay clarify for we talk to we, and yeah, because like they tell we again, the legal aid board not the under the judiciary, no they under the police, and then they become an independent body now. Then get the legal aid board acts of I think 2012 now established this body, so it will be an independent body. So then no mix pa for say now somebody they control them or waiting self tell them what thing for do, but then they do things them in the interest of Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans. And then we don't see, we bring out certain cases them way them in don't really champion and then advocate for the people for they not understand and know what thing then they do. Then we talk about one woman way, well, he really sacrificed for lay a man build a house where the man go Australia, the man change pan man. Okay, we don't get him back. Yeah. Okay, you are welcome back.
sorry, oh, now the internet they go on and off.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. So we've been
Mhm.
one thing, we've been the time for ask how independent is the legal aid board?
They get your board of directors wey na from community then they choose them. Opposition or they go state house.
Okay. That's
We
it.
get some civil society, bar association, interreligious council, Slango, we council of paramount chiefs, local government. So these are all representatives because
Oh,
now community work.
mhm.
And for it to be independent, it has to be representation and not to where then they appoint anybody. Pass the judge where then they when are the CJ they nominate.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much for that clarifications. So
Mhm.
what are they try for say now? Like for example, certain cases, like I bring for you one instance. Uh, we'll not say again, we not a magician them, but we not get paralegals them right across the country where they
They are
convey.
the way forward for Sierra Leone and
Yeah.
Africa.
So now we get a case, for example, like what I tell you say one woman, then kill him because a farmers then been get issues. Then go
Mhm.
that woman they lost his life. We not hear the police then arrest anybody.
They
We not
should. The people, the relatives should come back to the police
mm-hmm.
and make the report. Because,
Okay.
you know, for let a matter start, you must have witnesses, you
Mm-hmm.
must have evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, for us in the north, from Falaba to from Teyu, they come, Kabalate, they go.
Mm-hmm.
The basic problem we get under na cattle herders and crop farmers. The
Okay.
largest number of cases, for instance, I dey do one case where the person comot, I think Ferengbeya,
Mm-hmm.
then go arrest am, e get case with some cattle herders. And
Mm-hmm.
wetin dey happen, we have had to make peace between paramount chiefs. What will
Mm-hmm.
make the paramount, for instance, we bin come meet na Mashaka. We took
Mm-hmm.
paramount chiefs from about 5 chiefdoms. Some of them we are not talking to each other. We bring them come from Lokomasama. We bring different paramount chiefs then come from Potloko, from under Potloko District Council, My 91, Lone Star. We bring a number of them because when you go into the jails, one side na Fulaman and the Sidonde, cattle owners. The other side na poor crop farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting to happen is there's supposed to be an agricultural policy in which cows should not be allowed to graze in one area for more than 6 months. Otherwise, they break out of the paddock. For
Mm-hmm.
papaya, the paramount chief they will bring them, they say, Mama, now them very people they are and they go problem. When they go, then kind of say, hey, them full of man, they don't cow them. A paramount chief will don't take you own. You say take you own. Lord give them land. And then that happens. But they are supposed to rotate the land and they are supposed to take the cows further for more fodder after 6 months. But what happens after the 6 months is at times they find it very difficult to go away from towns to be able to live in the bush. So then CCSF then they tire because of human needs. So they know they move the cows and go far. So the cows then they break into people's farms, then they eat the crops. And so in that instance, some of those cows get killed by the farmers themselves. We get in cases in Makeni, we get in Kabbalah, we get in
Mm-hmm.
all over the place, Cambia, that kind of thing.
So in
And
that
so
sense,
we try to do
what
both the community approach to
mm-hmm.
call the
Good.
Ministry of Agriculture, the agricultural officers, and
Mm-hmm.
then with the community people, the local councils, the chiefs, the community heads. We try to use that and at the same time try to settle a lot of those cases away from the courts.
Mm-hmm.
Because well and truly, you go see the full apart and sit down, say me no know nothing, then kill me cow. So we say for go fet. Then you
Mm-hmm.
get the crop farmers where they say they can't eat me crops. So me
Mm-hmm.
say I kill the cow then. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of it still abounds, my dear. So I know say now one of those instances in
Yeah,
which
so
she may have lost
because
her
this
life.
community, yeah,
But
because
waiting
this
will happen is waiting can happen is in
mm-hmm.
those kinds of cases, really any side way life lost, the police then can investigate. But in that kind of communities, there is a lot of compromise. Because
Mm-hmm.
as I say, everybody is interrelated. The
Mm-hmm.
paramount
Yeah.
chief they say, well now, what turn to the full apart the community they say now they elect me and for do wetin they want. What
Mm-hmm.
go to the party say all that money we don't give you. You want for come back for car and bogui. So the paramount chiefs themselves are caught between a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of thing will continue for a long time. So where we can handle it in the courts until maybe the parties then don't weary, they were able to settle them. In a lot of instances, it doesn't end in jail term. They are able to compromise at some point because when they don't waka. So in the case they can go high court, then they tire.
Mm,
Then they meet at community level and they come and say, we don't have a case anymore. We are withdrawing our case from court. In some other instances, this is why we do town hall meetings, community focus group discussions, mobile clinics. Our lawyers are always on the move. And UNODC don't what should I say now? Don't class you as one of the best institutions because of positive use of social media. But
mm.
WhatsApp groups are very, very important. The lawyers, the
Okay.
paralegals, the community workers, and we have some of those open groups. I would not mind to add you to some of those open groups so you see the work done at chiefdom level even. So if the
Mm,
lawyer, for instance, a one for parking bag, for go one, for instance, the lawyer wey dey kaila now one parking bag for car coindo, then find out
mm,
say no, there is a serious matter in Shegbema. E dey park, e can't Shegbema. Or if e be don plan say na Daru e dey come, e find out say wey do clean, there is another matter, something dey na another town. Immediately the packing bags for me the paralegal and the chiefs and the so we are always on, we are informing each other, we are posting things, we are everybody's I need help here, this is what is happening here, I need a lawyer here, and then the chiefs need this, there's a chiefdom problem here. So that again helps us a lot in minimizing a lot of time and situations.
okay, thank you so much. Okay, I just want make something clear because people they need for no say whether na, of course they are all farmers, whether na cattle or farmer, they are all the same. They are all farmers.
We
Now
are
just
all the farmers.
and they are all very important in society. And nobody like
Yes,
all get right for exist because one thing
exactly.
animal not for go spoil that person farm because it's na dey e habo. So you
Hmm.
go do the wrong thing, you go bribe somebody for lay that case they die. So why you know go meet
Yes.
the crop farmer where you cow don't go spoil, go meet her una talk, una settle am peacefully.
Hmm.
Then again, the same thing back that cattleman back there, not for go killing cow. So we just want to make clear,
Exactly.
say they're all very important. Therefore, the Ministry of Agriculture will too now will need for again for collaborate and then for address issues them before then kind killing happen or something. So I want to take you again at the local court level. We know say una dey look into the issues. There's a lot of injustices they happen at the local court level. We dey see where the local court then get a threshold of fines where they're supposed for levy on people them.
Yes.
But we
When
they
are
get
50
them,
years.
yeah, but we they get cases them where then they find people there over how many them millions, then they hold people them back, detain them more than maybe 3 days or 2 days, like for maybe for something, maybe for just argument. How una can handle them cases then they?
Well, in areas they all get paralegals, of
Mm,
course, then thing they know they happen again. Because the legal aid act say paralegals are there to assist in local courts and to divert cases to the general courts, which should not be in the local courts. But as I say now, 59 paralegals will get 190 chiefdoms. Already with the time for begin paralegal training at Fobi College, the curriculum has been done. They want cascade and to
yeah.
constituent colleges around the country. So people will have more training and then they'll be able to really look at justice, issues of good conscience, natural justice, and human rights. Because that they very at the core for let you able for really handle the issue. They're very simple when you're doing the training, it's very simple. We're able to train people who have not even been educated, and that is our greatest strength because as I they talk the whole they talk like Creole, break everything into the normal language. So then part of the way they talk is our communities, then they help. So for areas then where you have paralegals, and because some of the chiefdoms they are so big, the chiefdoms are so big. So the
Mhm.
paralegal name will cover all. The areas they were able for go, they cover up. So we would advocate that they increase with numbers, then give we more staff They're able for make sure say we get enough money for them paralegals for they take motor car, they provide motorbikes, government do all them things they do. Because it's a very, very good institution. And if you see the peace cement in Sierra Leone, I mean the founders were not stupid to say you needed something like the legal aid board. And it was modeled on that of South Africa and Canada. The same
Mhm.
work we're doing is the same way they are working with indigenous people, aborigines, and the rights of minorities, refugees, etc. Who then I also we they represent Sierra Leoneans and non-Sierra Leoneans. And we're able to repatriate quite a number of Africans back home, working with the embassies. The one they would defend at the jails, where they on the wayside. For instance, with the Guinea, we they work with the Fula tribal headman. He's a very, very good man. They get in
Mhm.
team where then they dispatch people, they go Guinea. If some man they go in Kankan, some man they go Kindia, some man they go Labe, some man they go Conakry. Then they make sure say they go until they reach na their house. Then they call, we say they don't reach. There was a case of 7 Guineans who went fishing in a Guinea and the tide brought them into Sierra Leone waters and they were arrested. These people have never stepped their foot on Sierra Leonean soil. They were in
Mhm.
Baord for 7 years and then we took up the matter and
Okay.
we got them freed and we sent them. By the time they go back to Guinea, and they talk Creole past me and you, and
Mhm.
but they went back home.
Okay, thank you so much. Fambule, me una watch the then and now media empire. What been they read again about una work and then talk about issues them way they happen during pre-trial, where then detain people them would they see, for example, where this riot can happen. Someone in the whole way, in go Congo, so people and get like can go snap and line the watch, so police then they can't hold them. But they know they left them, so no more if they find out see they were not part of it, then they take money in their hand. So whose role una can play for during that pre-trial stage day? How una they
Well,
make
we do a
sure.
lot of work. We work with
Mm,
the police, we work with community people. And a lot of these false kind of thing, they can detain, then left them. The issue
mm,
of police taking money, that is something which is way out there. We don't
mm,
have control over it. They don't even want us to know that that is happening. Because
mm,
in some instances, believe you me, I don't make they don't transfer a whole police station. For
mm,
instance, one time at Calabato, the police then they arrest all the Okada and Keke and big vehicles and they demand money. So I was told that there was a cell full of drivers, this kind of people are intervene. The people then I call IG and IG was so good he transferred everybody there. So that image, when once I call a police station, people they take me very seriously. And if they wanted to play hanky panky quickly, they put their tape between their legs. Because they don't say we will not they do it for money, we they do it for the law, for God, for an abbey. So in instances where these are brought to the knowledge of the board, like that woman we been there at the forum,
mm.
we treat that picking, we have all those kinds of instances. And so we do a lot of community stuff, good stuff. I know we'll get time for tell you all.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I don't read a lot about your work, and I don't see lot of organizations them give you then they give you award for the
Oh,
work we.
we have hundreds. If you go
Yeah.
to our office, then don't
Mm,
beg me say I should try to have a big cabinet coming down.
mm,
Because even upline, my lawyers there, you go there, you see so many awards. Because the poor man no get money. Waiting the poor man want justice. What is right? And if
okay.
you see we are out there now because we are doing what is right and people rely on that. And so there is no way we can compromise that day. So this is us. So when the year is around, what the organizations do is they call us to give awards. Like some of them cases and anything they will don't do. Outstanding leadership award every year they get under this country, female leadership, one of the best female lawyers, community champion, human rights champion, legal aid board as an institution. They get institutional award every year for government from government institutions. So for us, we know it will come. This is why we work. Sometimes they say, Pastor, they send it, they go, accept the awards then on we behalf.
Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate you when you don't take your time for can talk to
Thank you
family.
very much, and thanks to all the listeners.
You'll be surprised for no people in the watch you. Some man they watch you from Bo, some man they watch you from Holland, some they watch
Yeah.
somebody even they watch me from Falaba. Interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, so or lastly before we go, how una they get funding? We not say government they give
Na
money.
government, because na
Yes.
government body. Government, we no donors now. Then shy away for buy vehicles. They
Mhm,
pay staff. What they are interested in is their own mandates.
mhm,
For instance, we dey work with all the UN agencies.
mhm,
UNDP, they are very interested in helping women to pay legal fees. As I
mhm,
say, we get so many lawyers na the bar, and
mhm,
helping to do maybe some community workshops and all those things.
mhm,
UNICEF we work with, they work with children behind bars. We have the program Children in Contact with the Law. And then recently, self we do the framework for service providers inside. Anybody they come in contact with children, what to expect her for do, how you for treat the pikin and protect them and this and that. So that has been signed upon by UNICEF and the government. So we're doing a lot with the UN bodies. UN women, we work with them alongside women. Some of them they come with some money for you for put in certain areas, which is what you have to do. Like for instance, and say, okay, in the Falaba district, we don't hear you say there is a lot of rape. So we want for minimize them. So we want community programs, we want discussions, and we also want legal representation. For instance, they will say in Kenema there are a lot of land disputes, or in Makeni a lot of domestic violence.
mhm,
Then sometimes they go attend the way Maboka, we find out say we had a lot of female murderers in
mhm,
Maboka, for instance. So we had to hold all those community discussions. In one of the instances, na mates, the one born, the other one not born. The one go take him pikin, come pikin, kill him. The other one
mhm,
go to Moriman, he go talk say, he and this man, they not go fit. If they continue, either in die or the man that he stabbed the man. The other one repeated rape. So we found out a lot of women clients for murder came from Maboka at some time. So we redeployed our Maboka for make sure so we educate women. Then and the other thing we always try to do is establish hotlines, work with institutions with hotlines like Ministry of Gender, the police, etc. And in issues of areas of problems, like for election may they come, we get the address, the telephone numbers of operational forces in all areas. We distribute nationwide the paralegals. So if anything happen, violence one be, the people in an area they know this number for contact. We went into partnership with the Sierra police. So we do a lot of this community work, but that's us.
Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. And then waiting when I get like waiting will be your appeal because a lot of people in the
The
world
appeal is funding. Funding. We
some
need motorbikes
yeah, some
because, especially in the
you
hard to reach communities, in the
mhm,
hard to reach communities, where especially where they get for go invite the man, so say they beat the woman repeatedly, or they rape him, or something they be picking, and they care for him. The paralegals say they find that difficult for access hard to reach and remote communities. So
oh,
motorbikes, more funding for them, because we learn say they do wetin dem dey call that mobile clinic, and then they go with the judiciary everywhere. Then they come on at the main town, go sleep, so you have to pay transportation, DSA. We need vehicles, at least one per region. So,
okay,
and we need more lawyers. We need
okay.
more staff.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And also, we see the past year where human rights we get the human rights records in the country not being really good because
Good.
we yes, what the legal aid board can do when the international report can come out say okay there are extrajudicial killings or lawful detention and then thing and they how una don't address the issues then there.
Well, for we, well and truly, it is just a fraction of human rights issues which are politically related or politically motivated. And the
Mhm.
problem with the one that they really is that either one, they are not properly investigated, poorly investigated, or witnesses are not coming forward. Because in some of those instances where they talk so, they do arrest, police do arrest people, and then you have people shouting, oh, no, politics, they don't arrest the wrong people. Oh, they don't arrest the right people. Then at times when they come to court again, it is disheartening. But let you know how serious some of those cases are. Witnesses don't come forward. And a
Mhm.
lot of those politically motivated cases where there is riots here, there is so eventually we get the people away from the law. But the one the way they don't get investigation done, they should be able to clamor for it because it is their right. It is their
Okay.
right.
Yeah, so for instance, let's say somebody go report a matter in a court, then don't hold this person, then don't send a remand, but the complainant no come. What in them is they're supposed to do? Because we see recently we wanna go with the judiciary, and we see then cases then come some man
When
the
you
complainant.
see under the laws of Sierra Leone, after 3 adjourned dates,
Mhm.
if witness no come, the accused should be set free because it is better to set free one innocent man than to go and jail so many people who are guilty. So we the team up say, but invariably it can don't be weeks and months because the judges say again they take their time and they tell we say you have to understand this man can earn a very serious offense. This when once I discharge him, people say, oh, the judge don't take money, the judge don't this. So they are also walking a fine rope. So they can tell we say, look, we lawyer and counsel, bear with us, prosecution, bring your witness. Because what thing they happen is even the prosecution, they don't have access to some of those witnesses. Because when once those complaints are made, those witnesses, some of them they change address, they go back up country, they do all that funny stuff. So even the DPP's office will not be able to access them. And then the charges are very serious. If you go put murder against person, they're not going to just left and let waka go so. So they
Mhm.
keep that person for a couple of years. They try to know what is going on. And then eventually they ask the prosecution to step the charge down to manslaughter. Then after manslaughter, so then sentence and out to time served. Then he go home. So, Sierra Leone is a very funny place, even for these so called insurrections. Thing. A lot of people are clamoring, oh, then kill this person, they not do nothing. You know, say then kill this person, go and do your investigation. Put a proper investigation and evidence thing together, which cannot be ignored. But
Mhm.
if you sit down there, you don't collect the evidence, you don't do anything, you sit there, and then the police has so many other issues, not the most sophisticated. And there are so many things which are based on politics, which are based on so many things.
Mhm.
So it's a vicious cycle for some of them. Do me, I do you. Where SOP feeling a power, they do their own thing. Where APC can have power, they do their own thing. For us, we are
Yes,
very concerned with the ordinary man, the common
definitely.
man who gets caught up in the system and we
Mhm.
in need for go fend in basic living. For
Mhm.
us, those political parties, they have lawyers on either side. They really want to work, they do their work. When they don't want to work, they want to behave like politicians. That's the time they scream all over the place.
Mhm.
And we are not
Okay.
impressed.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And let's say in the case of somebody, a complainant, uh, okay, don't go to court, then don't hold this person. The later complainant know they can. How many sitting court sitting is supposed to be before
It
they
should
left?
be three
Okay, so
consecutive sittings.
both
But the word consecutive, they.
okay, okay. So thank you so much for that clarifications. How you dey feel, for example, we know say complex Sierra Leone complex issues of politics of all that thing in there. As somebody wey been don rise to that principal defendant na the court wey na the only Sierra Leonean wey don reach that stage there, and then you don come, you don make sacrifice for come serve the country. How you really dey feel like in working in the type of environment where you dey work so?
I don't have a problem because we are human rights lawyers. We are not in politics.
Mhm,
You understand? We
mhm,
are in the jails, we are in the cells. Anybody will find himself now with mandate as a way of politics with a legal representation. As far as the environment is concerned, all these are issues for the DPP's office. This is not
Mhm.
for our office. You see, investigations, allegations of murder. Because when they bring case, now we they kick him.
Mhm.
So what we try to do in the face of all this kind of unhealthy news, we try to keep the balance with the majority of Sierra Leoneans who find themselves behind bars. So you look at bad Bate, you will say, okay, politically there are a lot of questions, there are issues of human rights, there are issues with that. But when it comes to the normal Sierra Leonean, there's an institution there which addresses those issues. As I say, if anytime arrests are made, automatically those people become our clients.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. So lastly, before you go, we know say una dey try, una dey cater for the poor people, right? For make their access justice. Okay, so how una dey determine somebody say, okay, this na poor person? Because some
Okay,
man
yeah.
go get
I for
where you go,
don't explain that they would they call on the indigence criteria to
yeah.
get it for. If you they earn below the minimum wage,
Mhm,
even if you they earn above the minimum wage, if you go into trouble, then your
mhm,
business suffer, you automatically come into the minimum wage. And
mhm,
you know Sierra Leone is a poor country, so we have over 80% of people who are clients.
mhm.
As I say, the unions, so say they work for hotel, they work for government, all that kind of thing. We come in and we they do waiting and they call class actions. For instance, like Ports Authority, we get big cases like court we involve a whole set of people. In one of them, they sack them, just left them because of politics, all that kind of nonsense. But we're in the courts, we're on labor issues, industries, like for instance in Town. You don't get packaging companies then we no lack for employ people full time. So they bypass labor laws and they make sure they pay people daily wage. They don't give them leave. They don't pay taxes. And then they take them on for 5 months, drop them for 1 month, go back, take them for another 5 months, drop them for 1 month. So they know they complete 1 year. But when you go through all the labor laws, if somebody works for 10 months, if somebody so we took a big case against Wadi Abuda and Sons for quite a number of workmen, and we succeeded.
Okay, thank you so much. We see say you don't even look tired because of you dey run.
Yes,
But you really don't, you dey play a great role. We must confess to that because when I read, I see lot of things them the award them where you don't get and the una roll back una go like for engaging at the UN because una don't serve as an example, so we just dey say una keep it up. But then we go like for bring you, we get for bring you for make we can talk more so that like we go get a longer time. So thank you so much for coming.
thank you very much. God bless you all listeners, including Psycho John Barry. Have a nice evening.
Okay, thank you so much. That's now the director of the Legal Aid Board, Sierra Leone. Now we've been get today. So family then so they end the program. So until then, I miss John Barry. They say good night.